You're listening to WRFB Radio Free Britannia. In no other better freaking place in the world than Deltona, Florida. Here you are, launch of no other than the dynamic duo, Laz and Jack.
Greetings, everybody. This is Laz. And Jack forgot to hit the button again.
This is Casey.
You're right. I forgot to go for the open mic today. I forgot to do that. Yes,
This is Laz.
This is Jack. And this is Jack. Welcome
And there's
to
Casey.
Lunch with Laz and Jack. And we have Casey back. Welcome back, Casey.
Casey
I don't forget to hit
Cupcakes.
my button.
Yep. So, we've got a fun topic. I mean, since we actually started talking about this before the show today.
Well, we've got all sorts of stuff to talk about, but yeah, we were just talking in here with Led Zepp about what's going on with all the bugs that were out there in last night's update. If any of you guys out there who were listening and watching the show yesterday,
Yeah, the update from 374 last night, and where it wouldn't allow you to log into the game without patching.
correct. It was finally a forced update, something we were talking about that needed to be done. Some kind of version checker so that
You're
people
cutting
couldn't.
out.
Yeah, you didn't get that wire.
What's that?
You didn't get that wire that you were looking for in the mail.
Oh, I
For
did.
your mic. Well, it's not working.
It's
That's
not
right.
working. Okay. And we got
That's
new,
right.
new release patch notes on Steam just popped up on screen. That's probably 375.
Yes, that is 375 notes.
Here
and
is
so
Lord
they're actually
British
updated.
stopping in to say hello.
Having an issue with the averaging still.
Always nice to see when he stops in.
Now you're going to be stuck in. We're going to salute each other and salute each other and salute each other until we're done.
I love he's wearing the angel wings. And of course, here is Casey wearing the
Yep,
Cupid
Casey's-
outfit.
He's got his diapers on.
Yes, I'm sure Lord British has got his on underneath there. Indeed, he is. Hello. Well, thank you for joining
The
us today,
question
Lord
was, how are you
British.
doing today, Lord British? Indeed, I am. Hello. Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, what we were talking about before the show with Led Zepp was the use of exploits to advance your character and
The
how that
impact they
actually-
have on the data collecting that the folks down in Portalarium do.
Yeah, and how that is detrimental to the game state. And so it's one where in the short term people want to get up as high level as they can and get as much money. But if they're using an exploit to get that high, because there are people that GM'd skills within a day of release, which is something supposed to be impossible. And that's one where it's like, by taking advantage of that and not reporting it vocally, and continuing to exploit those game mechanics, they're actually doing more harm than they are doing good.
Yes. Now,
Yeah.
the data gets skewed. We can't get any good read on exactly what's going on with everything. And just getting off to a very bad start. Now, yesterday's show, we were talking about the fact that there was nothing forcing anybody to automatically patch up, and last night's patch seemed to fix that, forced everybody to catch up, essentially closing the hole for those exploits that were out there. Now, it's my
Yeah,
understanding that there are still several ways out there to gain money and do other things, and I'm looking to find out exactly if it's actually a bug or not, or whether it's just taking advantage of a mechanic that it just happens to be the way it happens to be, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, Lord British chiming in here about the exploits.
Yes. New exploits will be created all the time, but we will find you as all value is tracked. That was one of the things that I was actually talking about yesterday during the show, and also briefly before the show, is the fact that they could actually find the individuals that were exploiting those bugs and roll back those individual characters by using SQL statements, since it is all within a database, the MongoDB, and so it's just a matter of connecting to that database and restating the stance for that one, temporarily doing a server-side patch to take the quest offline until it can be repaired. Or they could go with server rollbacks.
Now, we were talking about that
method.
And, rollbacks or time
Boy, that
warps
would
or
be
anything of the like that, in a general sense, is usually something that annoys the population.
General population,
yes.
Yeah.
And not something we want to see happen. And he had punished them. Now, I'm assuming they can track every single little bit of data down to the last gold coin, if they really want to. That's
absolutely they can.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be done.
I think.
And exploit use is a bannable offense. And he's sitting here shooting off fireworks.
He's having fun.
I haven't opened my pack yet.
Yeah, I've got all the packs sitting off
fireworks
to the side. I've got several of them.
No, but that's one where it's like, as Lord British is saying, purposeful exploiters, we catch and we'll deal with them, and then from there, it's one where it's like, yes, they do track all of that information. They do look at that to see how people are like connecting to the game state and doing things. That goes back to an earlier conversation where Chris was talking about how some people were fishing without having fish, and then you look in the database and
without
it's
having
like,
worms,
where it's got the bait, it had a null value. That's right there. It's really easy to trick that exploiter. And so it's one where it's like, if you look at the exploits and then you report them and you don't report them, I would say that is a temporary bannable offense, because you're exploiting the game for your benefit. Exploiting, then reporting, and continuing to exploit would also be a bannable offense as well. Just trying to use the logic, well, they haven't fixed it yet, which means it's okay, doesn't mean it's always okay.
Doesn't mean it's okay. That's right. Yeah.
We are essentially the QA testers of the game. Although Reese will and James will argue with me because they're the ones that enter in the bugs into Jira. There's things where we're actually going through and actually finding them and reporting it to them, so that way they can actually enter it in as bugs. So Lord British is stating that likely a new exploit you could exploit for a while, but once we know, we go back and look who used it and to what end. And so it's one where it's like, yeah, if you ended up with several $1 million and you ended up being character level 90 in a day, there's something seriously wrong with the way that you're exploiting the game. Unfortunately, it's like a number of my friends are the ones that actually took advantage of that. I unfortunately did not. I was not able to.
I was able to. I did a couple times. I didn't go the full extent. I didn't get my level, like 20 levels less, but it was fun just messing with it. But yeah, I think 3/4 of the server got.
I think there were a lot of people out there who did. And again,
yeah, it's kind of fun.
I know a lot of people who did it just to see
live, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. That yeah, they can't collect data on the lower levels, I guess. Which I'm still low levels. I got like 3 or 4 characters. I mean,
All right, now Lord British is saying here, if you find a new one and explore it like, wow, did I actually manage to fish without bait? But once you clearly know what happens, you stop doing it.
Yeah, you stop doing it, you report it, you try to figure out what steps did you take to duplicate it, and then you send in that bug report. It's not just like continue on, continue on, continue on. Yeah, exploring is fine. Massive cheating is not. And remember, guys, if you want to join us in TeamSpeak, just go to nbnn.info and click on the button that says "Join us in TeamSpeak."
That's right. You can come join us live, join in the chat, join in the conversation.
That will automatically drops you into our channel.
I don't know if I got that fixed
the
yet.
other day. Oh, you don't know if you got that fixed yet? Oh, hopefully it's fixed. Explore,
but it'll bring them into the servers, no problem.
Find the steps, and then document and submit to the developers. But you end up with, it's like the purpose of the wipes is for them to actually start looking for, okay, how have we balanced these scenes, and have we tweaked things into such a way that we have made leveling and the grind not punishing, but enjoyable enough for people to actually repeat things. And are they exploring new scenes? What scenes are they leveling in? Where are they acquiring all the gold? So that way they can balance the environment. And exploits, unfortunately, crush their ability to actually do that analysis.
And I think the players actually don't get the full experience of the learning curve. They don't get to really see what it's going to be like when they do that. Like I said, we all played with this over the weekend, but with our regular characters, we're here and we're out here grinding like normal because that's what we do. Now, we found a couple other things with the mobs not attacking while we're out doing that. We found a couple other things out there. Which are now fixed. And it's the exploration, the fun of learning how it's done. To go from 0 to mastery overnight really takes a lot of the fun out of it for me.
I think most of what it is people want to get back to where they left off.
You're breaking my immersion, man.
Oh, here we go. But I think that's the gist of it. They just want to get back to where they were and see how that is at the top.
Now we have a question in chat. Somebody's asking here. I can't read the name. If we plan to release the game in the Polish language. Now we were talking about localization yesterday. Of course, we have Torque here with us in the audience from Germany. He's one of our German streamers. And we were also talking about localization.
As far as a Polish translation, I don't know if there is one in the works, but I do know that Jacob White, our guy that's
Soda Map creator,
the sodamap.com, he is also Polish.
I don't know if he's working with them on that or not. Of course, we do have somebody here who can answer whether or not we are getting a Polish translation. Lord British can probably cue us in on that one at least. That's not any kind of top secret information.
How many Polish users are there, though?
You'll be surprised. Of course, look at Jacob White, prime example.
Yeah.
Look what he did with Soda Map. And I'm sure he's got all his friends. He's telling people about it and pointing people in that direction.
Let's see. I'm looking for the post that actually has the different languages that they're translating currently to. I'm finding old data. Lord British says he doesn't know about Polish right now, but if there's enough desire,
demand, yes.
Yeah. The way that the translation is being done by community members, and right now one of the developers is actually German. That's Tassilo, and so English, French, German, Spanish are the first languages. German is the most developed right now. Spanish behind that, and French I think is third. I can't even find it. I know it's somewhere in the somewhere out on
French.
on the internets.
I'm asking a couple of people who are actually doing the localization. I'll find out.
Yeah.
User joined your channel.
I was going to say, you know who that would be.
But this is part of the crowdsourcing of the Shroud of the Avatar project. And if you don't know this, Lord British is Richard Garriott, who is the guy that is one of the developers. He is the founder of Portalarium. He's also the
Go ahead. Spit it out.
He is also the founder of Origin Systems. He's the guy that's the brains behind all of the Ultima games. So this is his puppy, and he is here in the studio with us, although he is not in TeamSpeak with us. I got distracted by Dreadfully Despised saying something in my channel.
Yeah, I see that. I noticed Lord British is not wearing his crown today. That is odd. It's very odd to see him without his crown on.
Does that mean that he doesn't have the ponytail?
I
No, he
cannot
still has
tell.
the.
Yeah,
He still has.
got the
He has a
tails,
double
that's right.
ponytail.
I
Yeah.
see Torque has just joined us here live. Welcome, Torque. How you doing today? Finally catching up with us.
Yeah, hello. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you
Greetings
met
from
us
Germany.
before. You finally got onto the show and got up here in time. Welcome from Germany.
Yes, this time I had time and I don't forgot it to watch your broadcast today.
Well, very good. Welcome to the show. It's always glad to have you. Always glad to see you out there streaming Shroud of the Avatar in Germany.
Now, if you want to help with the localization project, I put a link into Twitch for everybody. It is getlocalization.com/soda/start, and you can actually help with the localization project.
Do you have
There
to
is
be
a localization guide.
linguist?
Well, you would need to know some languages first.
You have to
Yes.
be a linguist, a specialist, I imagine, or someone near there.
A cunning
Well,
linguist.
yeah, it helps if you're familiar. Yes, you
Yeah.
have to be a cunning linguist. There's also a Google Doc out there for helping, expressing an interest to localization that I will go ahead and post out there as well.
Lord British says he'll be right back. He left his crown on the nightstand.
Yeah,
I don't know. Is the crown what gives him his invulnerability?
well, I don't know.
Cough, cough,
He
hint,
doesn't
hint.
have his PvP flag on that I saw. So that and he's a little bit more advanced than I am. So
Just a titch. I didn't happen to look. Did you
Yeah.
notice how many jams he had on him?
no, I did not. But I was laughing at Star the other day with his like 57 GMs.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that he was running around town, and it's funny. Somebody was looking at it, going, "What skills did Star pick? I'm curious. I want to know which one he picked and which one he left out." You know, and they were looking down the list. It was funny. It's like,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
That damn
Yeah, some
exploiter,
funny
man. Star is exploiting, huh?
56
I know
GMs in
using
2
dev
days.
commands when yeah.
funny.
But the funny thing about that is supposedly they have to manually up every single skill, and so it's like click, 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 click. So right after the game launches, since they have earlier access to it, to the game, to the live client than we do, they have to manually set their skills first.
Yes,
But let's
and very manually,
but-
as you described it.
yeah. Let's see. So
Oh man,
okay, where am?
Twitter's just blowing up over here.
Yeah, that tends to happen at times. I'm still trying to find the actual languages.
I thought it was
But I
on
don't
that
see the-
link to help
No,
with.
it wasn't on that. Well, you'd actually have to log into that one
User
in
in
order
your
to
channel
start
timed
helping.
out.
But you could probably start doing the Polish translation, and then hey, imagine that it's in game.
There you go.
Yeah. So if you're able to take the time to translate things from English to Polish, and you can get started, and you can probably end up with a nice shiny reward for it as well, because they do tend to reward people that actually help them. And now he does have his headdress.
Yeah, he had to go get it off the nightstand.
Yeah. Oh, we should have zoned to him while he was in the magical dev place with all the dev tools.
And crash your game.
Yeah, no.
that too.
User was moved to your
but,
Jack and Les, can I say one word?
Sure.
Because
Yes.
I want to stream your broadcast too on my stream. Is this okay for you, or
Oh
with
yeah.
the
yeah, that's
NBNN logo?
Yeah, not a problem.
That is fine. Not a problem at all.
user left.
Okay,
You
so I
you can
started soon.
rebroadcast us anytime you wish.
Uh-oh.
What? Ashley Amber
Now,
says the Twitch stream keeps freezing. Ashley, try the button that says having trouble viewing and see if that works for you. Sometimes using that link alleviates that problems for people.
User left your
That's
channel.
what I use. I use that.
Yeah, you used the having trouble viewing.
I don't have any trouble, no. I use that link, though.
And then
I
also,
use the,
also in last case scenario, try YouTube. Is some people say they find better streaming on YouTube than on Twitch. And we are live in all these places. We're live on NBNN.info. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. We're live on WRFB Radio
And-
Free Britannia.
Yep. Okay, so we do have a few other things. I mean, so we've covered those exploits and the fact that exploiting them to only your benefit and
Exploit
a few of your
equals
friends
bad.
it is bad for the game. It is bad for the development process. It may make you feel better. It may make you feel like all powerful and everything else, but still, you're just hurting the developers. You're hurting the how is the game mechanics actually functioning. But we do have a few other things to talk about. We do have patch 374. They actually did change it to where you actually have to have the current version of the game
To actually
in
log
order to
in.
log in,
Which was very
is
nice to
actually
see
good,
to fix
which
all
is-
those exploits.
Yeah,
Now,
which
do
is
we
one
wanna
of those
go
things
over-
that, as far as what they're doing for this cycle is the implementation of some rudimentary security and system checks for game state, things like that. So as they're shoring up security, then we'll also probably find out that some of the macroing that people are doing right now won't work in the future either. We did have a patch this morning as well.
Now, what do we
think
want
that-
to cover first? Do we want to do stand-up corner, or we want to cover patch notes?
Well, stand-up corner. I mean, remember, it's mostly going to be bugs, and Rick or Chaos was nice enough to actually put out today's stand-up corner as well, so we could do.
Actually, I think you'll be quite surprised at
actually,
today's stand-up
looking
corner.
looking at, huh?
I said, actually, I think you'll be quite surprised at looking at today's stand-up corner.
No, I'm staring at it right now.
Yes,
So.
so that you understand what I'm looking at. Now, we could do
Okay,
yesterday's.
Okay, we'll do yesterday's, and how about today's? How about that? We'll do both.
Nah, let's
So guys,
just do
For more
today's.
information, I'm live now on Twitch, and I called
Okay.
it ENG Let's Play Shroud of the Avatar, the Les and Jack Show,
Well, thank you,
NBNN
Torque.
News.
Thank you, Torque. Thank you.
And
And I
you-
make a little bit advertisement for this show for you.
Oh, very
okay,
cool.
thank you.
Let's just do
So
today's
our-
stand-up
Just
because we do have
No,
time
yes.
constraints.
okay. So today's stand-up corner. Remember, the stand-up corner for Shroud of the Avatar is the the daily stand-up meeting where they just get up, say what they're working on, and then they go back to business. So today is Wednesday, February 3rd. We're going to start off with the artists, then go through the different groups. So our artist, we have Bob Cooksey, who's going to be playing around with wind
User
turbines and
disconnected from your
greenhouses. Oh, wait, sorry. Small greenhouse. Yesterday it was that. Today, Jeff Mellon is working on the Damon polish. Kevin Wells is working on the kilt
Kilts.
and the freedom emote. Leo
Freedom.
Taylor is working on character sounds and level up special sound effects. Matt Schmitz is working on quick casting and two-handed pole arms and shills. Fields. Scotty Jones is going to be working on the beta of the Avatar map and the Shroud of the Avatar map and runic font bug fix in Dex icon.
Bug.
Yeah, you were a little slow on that. Over in design, Brandon Cotton's going to be working on the coconut spawner and cooking recipes. Dan Brennan's working on the artifice exterior spawning. Finn Stabers, dragon visual effects, and Obsidian Forge visual effects.
Bug.
Gina Dion is working on community and customer service. Keith Quinn is going to be working on fixing chairs.
Yay.
Richard Mady is going to be working on these
Yeah, pronounce
Brett
that.
entrance. So we're going to be the Kobold entrance. So we're going to have lots of Kobolds in game again. Scott Jennings, conversation bugs,
Bug.
and High Veil tutorial polish. Steve Saldivar is, or Sorcerer Steve, is working on the Malice entrance. Over in tech, Jason Yenawine is working on server bugs
Bug.
and login admin tool. Joaquin Del Canto is playthroughs and bugs
Bug.
and fast travel planning. Justin Gilbert, or One and Only, is working on. I'm sorry, Joaquin is Wizard Smoke. Justin Gilbert is One and Only, is working on performance optimizations. Burning Toad, otherwise known as Kinfile, is working on builds and patches and bugs
Bug.
and fast travel planning. Tassilo Philippe is going to be working on the payment system architecture upgrades. Zach Shepard's working on server tests and Release 27 scheduling. Over in QA, James is working on sanity tests and forms and regression testing. Michael Dameron, can't ever say his name correctly because Dameron sounds cooler, is working on regression testing. Reese Romero, or the Attenwood, is working on sanity tests and
Attenwood.
forms. The Attenwood, and regression testing and localization support. Our production management other group, Chris, is working on performance optimizations in ambient obscurance and leads meeting and fast travel. Dallas Snell is working on leads meeting and add-on store categorization. Michael Hutchinson is working on leads meeting and Edelman home bugs. Richard Garriott is working on the Laz and Jack show.
Yes, he is. Bugs.
No,
and
he's
playing and
writing
writing bugs
bugs.
and lead meeting.
He's
And
writing
bugs.
bugs. No wonder why the devs are going crazy. Richard Garrett's writing bugs. That's
Remember, in Jira, as far as bug tracking goes, Richard Garriott is number 2. He is
Yes.
behind James as far as documentation inside of the system. Rick Holtrop is patch notes and release 27 tasks. And Starlong is working on the build direction and fast travel planning and leads meeting and patch notes.
User entered your
Now,
channel.
So that's
while
our
we were
stand-up
doing
corner
that, Lord British chimed in with a couple of comments there. That the new entrances and new finale dungeons are looking great. He commented while we were commenting on the stand-up corner there.
Yeah, it means I need to sneak over to their office under the guise of delivering beer again.
Oh, didn't you do that
They asked
last
me
week?
to not so often since they're on their weight loss challenge. And apparently I'm making some people fat.
Oh, well,
Oh, thank you,
last time I
Ashley
dropped
Amber.
off some beer, there was no beer in the fridge other than some growlers. And,
Ashley
they're like,
Amber says the
"Ooh,
stream
weight
seems
loss
better
challenge."
now. Dreadfully the size. What are you doing down there? Lord British, hanging at Laz and Jack's, finding the bugs. The number 2 bug hunter. But I try harder.
He's writing them too.
Yes.
It says he's writing
yes.
bugs.
Well, that's writing them into Jira. We understand.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, so-
misunderstood.
What's really funny is like Lord British will actually go hunting with you if you whisper him in game. Remember, you can always friend him in game. It is a Steam achievement. It just hit F, type in Lord British, And what's really funny is he does not have Jack Synesist as one of his friends, I believe. And he tries
And
to
one
friend
more thing,
everybody that
the
he sees in game.
achievements from Steam,
Yes, correct.
they are gone. The two achievements, I think it's a bug too, or that's achievements which you got to explain Prema and Old's head. They are gone with the wipe.
You were telling me that you experienced all your Steam achievements getting wiped with the lost with the last wipe.
Well,
Now,
that
I don't
may
know if
have been
anybody
one
else
where they were
experienced that.
resetting the achievements. I don't know, but
User
since
was
they
moved to your channel.
have been working on the points of interest, because that's the ones that he said it was.
User left your channel.
That is one where, you know what, I don't know if it was reset or not.
Disconnected.
I don't have a lot of Steam achievements on my account for some odd reason.
Stay away from Steam.
Yeah, and Justin would like to say hi to everyone. She's texting
welcome,
me,
Justin.
so-
Listening on WRFB Radio Free Britannia out there at work. Always glad to hear
And
you
she says,
stopping in
he
to
says
say
hi,
hello.
Richard, or hi, Lord British.
Now, Justin
If
was
Beck
down
here,
there
she'd
for
be
the big
threatened to
move, wasn't
kill
she?
Lord British. Yes, she was. She is with Clan of the Wolf. She is from. Torque. If you're in game, go ahead and
Yes.
just do a /bug, and that will actually launch your web browser and copy all of your system information, and you can actually report the Steam achievements.
Okay.
Missing.
/bug.
Yes.
/bug in game.
As Lord British says, it's the best way to get
Okay,
information
and,
out
My
there.
browser opens release 26 bug forum. Yes, okay, it works.
And go ahead and
then
report that,
that way it can be reported.
because
And-
that's not supposed to happen, apparently. I know
Yeah.
you mentioned that to me the other day. I hadn't had a chance to ask around and see if anybody else was missing theirs.
And Lord British is howling for Clan of the Wolf right now.
Yes, he is.
And
I
The-
claimed one other bug in the last days or weeks because the CPU usage is so high. But I think this thing is for Portalarium one of the greatest difficult things to handle, to make the CPU usage lower, because I can change the graphic settings to each type, to fastest or to fantastic, and the
Beautiful.
CPU usage is high at any time, 80 and over 80%.
yeah, that is one of the things that they're currently working on. If you look at one of the patch notes or one of the posts,
User
Chris
joined your
actually did
channel.
say that he did improve things a little bit and was able to get out 10 more frames per second in certain settings.
Yes.
so
Now we know everything is
that-
not optimized
that-
yet either.
Yeah, that is where it is not optimized. They are working on the optimization of those things. And so right now the system requirements are a little bit more beefier than they will
Now,
probably
Jack-
be going when the game is.
You may have noticed the one fix because of the books that were causing all sorts of lag yesterday. Did you notice the load-in time to this lot was bang?
Yes.
Compared
you
to
took
yesterday?
All the books off. Yes. I thought that was server patch. But it
Is
was books?
it was the books that were causing something, and of course, if you know, right across the way, EVL has that lot that Kentro designed with all the books with the menorah, and
Yeah.
for something about them was causing lag in scenes, which they fixed in one of the patches. I believe it was 3.7.4 yesterday. When I loaded in right after that patch, I was right in, able to sit down, access chests, and there was no more lag waiting for that to happen, which is nice to see, just a quick fix in a patch like that. I see Jacob White listening in, coming to join us here in TeamSpeak today. Welcome, Jacob.
Good morning.
Hello, Jacob White. How are you doing?
The Map Man.
That's
yeah.
right. Is the map master himself, Mr. Jacob White, one of the latest 1B winners and recipients.
So right now in TeamSpeak we have 4 1B recipients and 1 Chaos Medal recipient.
Gotta
And
love it.
spoon.
So
And-
Jacob,
And a
Chaos
spoon.
And a spoon, yeah.
And
Jacob, are you going to participate in the translation?
Kendrick
To
Darrow
Polish.
is actually right
I don't think so.
out there on the road watching
Yeah,
what's going on.
busy, I
Storm
guess.
Riders out there as
Yeah, I don't have much time for anything else.
Doing a wonderful job on the map, though. Excellent.
well. Oh, we talk about that
Thank
map every day
You are
here.
a great cartographer, sir.
Is for those of you folks out there who haven't checked out sodamap.com yet, get out there and use that map. If you just go look at the NPC towns, Airy, Resolute, Owl's Head, he's done a wonderful job laying those towns out, points of interest, fenders, the works. I mean, you'll never get lost with sodamap.com. And again, I've said it from the beginning. I think you should be working with the guys down at Portalarium to do maps with this game. I mean, the work you do is absolutely awesome, but that's just my opinion.
Lord British says, the virtues. I wasn't very virtuous. Lord British, please don't punish me.
We can go on about virtues, but we don't have enough time for that in a single show, or even a week's worth of shows, I'm sure. And speaking of shows,
It'd take you longer than that to teach them to Led Zepp.
Hey,
Yeah.
now.
Sodamap.com, Portalarium's best source for truth. You should go watch the stream, screenshot that, and then put it as your banner, straight from Lord British.
I got
We
the
have
screenshots.
6 different guys here and 6 different guilds. You seen it?
Yep.
And Lord British says, awesome, agreed. I don't know if he was, which one he was commenting on there, but great nonetheless. But moving right along,
Yeah.
the map work is great. The virtues we can sit here and ponder and contemplate.
Well, since Jacob is here, one of the features on sodamap.com is the ability for a town owner to register for the website and pay a
Yes.
small fee to actually be able to manage their own map. Jacob, how much is that fee to manage your own map?
Right now it's $50.
Okay, which is relatively small, considering the functionality that you're providing with allowing a town owner to actually go through and set themselves up as the mayor, and they can actually point out where plots are. Are you going to actually have it to where they can actually put who owns what lot
Yes,
as well?
it's already in there.
Okay. Oh, it's already.
All that function is in there. You can actually go into a town and search by vendor name. If you know a vendor's name, you can go into the town, do a search, and it'll show you where that vendor is located in the town. That's how awesome this map is. Now, let me comment. We've asked Jacob about this before. One of the reasons why there is a fee to do this is to keep people who don't own towns from arbitrarily just going in and making
And
changes
managing someone else's,
and
yeah.
messing with things. Yes, so only town owners would really pony up a small fee to get their towns in like that. Secondly, of course, it's a little compensation for the amount of time and energy he put into this. Small price to ask, in my opinion, for the customization that you get to be able to do at your town on this map. Just, again, blows my mind. I've been screaming it from the top of my lungs since he put it out there. I love this map. And, of course, Portalarium does as well. You heard it right here,
And
folks.
Jacob, and Jacob, one of my towns is misspelled on the map.
Oh,
Oh,
I see Enigma Wins is joining us here. Welcome, Enigma. He's
Yes,
sign
Enigma's
sitting.
front and center on my screen.
If you
Sitting
could
on top of
send
the
me
sun.
if you could send me a PM, I will fix it.
Okay.
And that's right,
Yeah.
Casey. And Jacob does it all on his own. Nobody helps Jacob with this. Everything you see
Plus,
here
I think
is one
Jacob's
guy.
right and Jack is wrong. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I just think he should leave Jackstown misspelled just because he can.
Make him pay 60 bucks.
Make me pay the
$10
money
charge.
to go change the town name. I will eventually do it and set it up. I was going to use it to actually play around with different town designs. That way I can really mess around with it. But yeah, we've got a lot of information.
We want to touch on some of the patch notes for today's
Some of the
latest
patch
patch.
notes. Yep. Do you have those up in front of you?
I
Or do need
have
to send you a link?
374 in front of me. You got 375. We want to do both.
Yeah,
we want to touch.
375 is really short patch notes.
We can cover them both while we're here.
Various fixes. Yeah, 375, which is the patch that was released this morning at 11:30, was various fixes for localization errors, including broken bankers and town criers in the Spanish version of the localization. Arabella in Resolute properly saying goodbye when prompted. The Kingsport Oracle now uses correct Oracle dialogue. The quest logic fixes for Kailau in Ardoris, and the piano is making sounds again, and fixed improper collision on the entryway of the Elliman Founder Village home. Under known issues, that very first one is really important. Items on public vendors were accidentally wiped with this patch. So if you have a vendor, everything's going to be in the bank. So you'll need to
this has
reset
happened
up your...
twice now? Because it happened in 374 as well, I believe.
Well, I'm just looking at known issues and saying this is what
Yep,
happened.
okay.
You have to remember what's on Jack's junk.
But that's not a public vendor. That's a private vendor.
It is a public. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that is a private vendor.
It's-
Yeah. The rest of it is pretty much the same old, same old. Patch number 374, which was last night, which was the first instance of you must have the correct patch in order to log into the game. The changes were southeast of Blackbade Mountains, added the Ankh at the Novia exit, repositioned existing Ankh to exit to Blackbade Pass, repositioned bear spawners away from the pass exit, fixed survey visual effects showing as rectangles versus sparkles when viewed through fog. Douse and Purify can now advance without actually removing a debuff.
Nice.
Fixed issues with NPC pathfinding and placement in Airy. Fixed possible issues with talking to Myra in Owl's Head about her brother.
The Clink quest. We keep breaking the
yes.
Clink quest.
I don't know why it keeps on getting broken. Fixing crafting tutorial in Soultown to match new crafting requirements. 3 number tweaks for passives, Blade Mastery, Crusher, and Draw Strength. So, like, right there, remember, if the fixing of the number tweaks for passives for Blade Mastery, Crusher, and Draw Strength, which is Blade Mastery is swords, bludgeons, and ranged. If we need all those fixes that we can get. Protected Virtue Bowler Hat from Ransom, so it is now a newbie item. Solace Bridge, it fixed stuck spots in both starter and non-starter version of the map. Fixed maps with cloud layer geometry was improperly clipping into the scene, including, clipping, I wanted to say clinging, including South Varsala Foothills, Greymark Forest North, Brightbone Woods, and many others. And fixed missing textures on Baron Benefactor Home, minor conversion of fixes for Anton, Thomas Strongbeer, and Nob the Stable Boy, and you can once again get your trusty steed.
Yay! Coconut's obtainable again.
Yes. Fixed bricked up windows in the Twin Spires Manor. Purchase orders can now be placed, which is actually kind of cool
I
because
haven't
remember
played
one
with
of the
those
things that you
yet.
can do.
I'm looking forward to those.
Okay, you haven't played around with any purchase orders. Added the bow recipe to the merchant. No longer have short bows in the game. Ruin
Yes.
Keep is no longer labeled as the Obsidian Keep map. Weight of the Novia map Apples and all mini-maps was decreased. Searing Ray had long pause before executing. Now will execute appropriately to match animation. Fixed water level in Janiford. Book through the Lunar Lift 5 no longer displays the text for the Weasel in the Granary. Modified shoreline for town water lot to exist adjacent to a city water lot in the lake location of the grassland.
Running out of breath, Jack.
I know. Yeah. And I still have to do the calendar. Let's see, where was I? Optimizations. Player made books that were causing large increases in load times.
That was the bug. That was the one that was holding us. Yeah.
Yeah, planting barrel and planting pot can now be placed on exterior floor rooftops, balconies, decks, as well as on the ground. Made a possible fix for placing yew tree deco in its previously familiar location on the island player-owned town. Replace last placeholder NPC dialogues for airy, so no more meows. And miss the cats. Wax cylinders from Shooter Jennings' album Countach. Attend the release party for a chance to win one.
Now they're going to be pink in game too, aren't they?
That would be a Lord British question.
I believe they said they're going to be pink in game.
That would be pretty sweet.
Yes, it's to match the pink LP that he's releasing as well.
Yeah, and I did not get confirmation that I was the first to pre-order the CD yet. I had to remind him that he had a show that night when he was in Tomball, Texas. 2 more small performance improvements, including disabling some update calls when they are not your character. Disorderly displacement, now consuming reagents properly. Saw blade sweep update to match changes to whirling blades range and damage. Performance work. Reduce the distance at which we update the dynamic bones, hairs, and beard. Add logic to not update dynamic bones behind the camera. So no longer will you have the floating beard. I guess that's the fix for that.
Oh, damn it.
Better culling for the dynamic bones. Free attack ticks set to 1 for wand and staff. Dragons are now breathing fire again versus another orifice.
I love that one.
What?
That's pretty funny. Fixed an issue where errors were occurring while NPCs were trying to find waypoints. Players can never earn less than 20% of the original experience from a crafting recipe.
This threw me a little bit for a loop, the way that was worded. Never earn less than 20%.
That's the first time, then. Once the first time, that's it.
I have a question from a German viewer.
Shoot.
But it's a German question, and I have to translate it, and my English is not so good. So I try it. He asked if items can be... Oh, one moment. If items can be stacked in-game, like in Ultima Online, that...
not all items. I can actually
please.
answer that one easily. Okay. As long as you don't mute the stream, we should be good. But currently, you are not allowed to stack or place items like gold on a lot. But that is something that they are working on and will eventually happen. And so we will be able to put things that are not marked as house decorations down. But there are several items that can be stacked, and I believe it can go up to a level 5 of the height for things being stacked. Eventually, you will be able to... It's okay. But not everything is able to be placed on a lot right now or out in the open world, but eventually that is something that will happen, and that is something that they are working on developing still. So we will be able to have our little money piles on our lots at some point in time.
Now, of course, a little bit more commentary from Lord British on that. Items that have individual qualities cannot be stacked. Generic items should stack.
Okay, I think the question was a little bit other, not stacked, so the items can be put game to make a role play game. So I can't explain it right
So,
from
like,
German
one
to
of the-
English.
One of the pledge rewards was the crystal sword, and one of the things that people have asked about is being able to place that as a decoration in their house.
Oh,
And
nice.
that is something that they are working on. It is currently does not exist in game, but it will at a later date. It's the same thing with like the quest hats. At some point in time, we will be able to place those on something, and maybe even they might even design a hat rack for us to display them.
Because the look of it on the person has to be designed, the look of it in your pack has to be designed, and the look
Yes.
of it as a decoration has to be designed on.
So now, what
Well, I
was
have
the
to say
question he
thank
was
you For the
asking?
viewers on my stream.
What was that question?
5 now. I
Let's see
can't
if-
see your stream at the moment, but here I made a little bit advertisement for the stream, and I think there are coming a few more visitors or watchers or on
Okay.
Twitch. I made advertisement on Facebook, on Steam, and on YouNow.
Oh, very nice.
But
Thank
I
you.
don't stream on YouNow, only on Twitch at the moment, and so
Okay.
you
Thank
are
you, Torque.
welcome here, and by
Yes.
Jack and Les.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now we've got
Let's
a
see.
few more
So-
minutes here to go before we got to wrap up and do the calendar. Today is Wednesday.
yeah.
Calendar is real short today, so I'm not too concerned about that.
Hump day.
Hump day. Woot, woot. Mike.
I don't know what you're doing.
I'm not doing anything. We
So,
finished up with
where are we
we finished up with patch notes.
Close enough.
Yeah, we finished with that. I did see a couple things out in the NBNN Daily today that I wanted to talk about real quick. Let me pull up. There was a real interesting topic on Duke Keeps, and I thought you might be interested if you hadn't seen that one yet.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's a very interesting conversation. In today's NBNN Daily Britannian, what
this
is the best
thread
Duke
best
selection
Duke
option?
Selection option.
Yeah. Now, I didn't look to see. I started reading it. When was this actually started? It was started today.
6:56 a.m.
So it was today. But I was reading some of this, and there was really just some odd trains of thought, guys talking about claiming city lots with their keep lots. I don't know. I paid for a keep. I want to use all that land I can. And that was one of my big complaints about the Duke Island Keep, was that to place that, you had to claim a city lot and place that on a city lot, basically, and essentially losing half of your land value.
Losing half the land. But remember, this is one where, as they go through the development process, one of the things that Portalarium has stated multiple times is they will have enough housing plus 30% of every single tier. So they're going to have
For every
if they
pledge
need to
that's been
have
put
a-
out there, correct.
Yeah. So if they need to have 50 castles, there will be 50. There will be 65 castles. They need to have 100 Duke keeps, so there will be 130 Duke keeps somewhere in the game.
Correct.
Then from there, it's based off of your ability to get into the game and place on your placement time, and so you're not guaranteed an optimal spot no matter what. And this is one where it's people are always saying what location is the best, and it's I have to have that location. That becomes a moot point when we go further through the development. And even Lord British is saying there will be enough housing plus 30%.
Yep.
And that doesn't even take into account the people that own player-owned towns that don't have any desire to live outside of their player-owned town. A lot of the people with Duke pledges and Lord of the Manors, as well as some of the other pledges, they plan on solely placing their houses in a player-owned town, in their player-owned town, or in their guild's player-owned town.
On
And
that
so,
topic, Jack,
yeah.
I noticed all the NPC towns. I was wondering if they're gonna put in infrastructure. I noticed that it's just a town, and they have the banker and the crier. I was wondering if they were gonna put infrastructure town structures in those, or leave them as is.
I believe that
plan?
we're just going to see the major towns that we see that have that kind of infrastructure. The other ones, my
Well,
opinion, are
you-
considered
yeah,
like
if-
suburbs where you just live in them, and you have to go to a city center, in order to take care of business. That's my read on it.
I'd rather more British
You-
answer, but
You're
you think
you're forgetting the difference between some of the towns.
well, most of
We
them are
have
the same.
NPC
and they
towns
have
that are
right.
storyline towns. Those are the ones with the
Infrastructure.
the banners over them. Then we have the player-run towns, which were provided, which is where the extra housing comes into play, which are a player-run town is an NPC town that doesn't really have a lot of infrastructure. It's up for the players to actually set that up.
Correct.
Then you have player-owned towns, and player-owned towns are purely run by players. NPC towns will have a bank in minor buildings only, other than known big towns. So
Just like
even
we
more
have here
British
in
is-
Owl's Head, correct?
Yeah, so it's like player-run towns is an NPC town that doesn't have a lot of infrastructure. And I think this is something that people constantly forget whenever they're talking about player-owned towns and house placement and everything else. And it's one where it's like, we just have to pay attention to what the developers have said time and time again. They've only said these same comments 1,000 times, and I think that's why Lord British is like Jack rules.
I see his comment on there. Yeah, it just seems
Yeah.
weird to me that there's just a crier and a banker right up front. And no,
Well, I
No-
mean
no
that
bank or
becomes a
anything.
player-run town. It's one
Yes.
where that's how Pax Layer made it into the game in the Veilmark scene. It's you have these people that want to role play an entire town and a functioning government within. Although that does allow some other people to actually get in. Whereas if you want to control everything, you have a player-owned town where you can actually set up exactly who lives and who stays, what goes on, and you really can micromanage everything, as well as setting up all kinds of NPC vendors.
yeah,
Ones
I'm
go
aware
where, who's
of that.
banned, who's not.
I'm aware of
That's
that.
right.
I'm just saying the NPC towns, just that there's no real structure to them. I was just wondering if they just haven't been developed, or they had planned on developing it more instead of just having the crier and the banker up front.
Yep,
you know,
that's what you're going to see.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, you're just going to see very, very minimal infrastructure with those.
So I'm the new Jack the Lamplighter.
Yes, we need Jack the Lamplighter in every town, though. And remember,
You see,
one of my
I
alts
make
is
the
Jack the Lamplighter.
lightning.
Yep. You get me in jokes.
After the stream, you can explain me how to train invisibility. I think it's really cool. I saw the guy from the Dixie
Running around
toilet.
invisible.
Yes, he is invisible and he's moving around, and you can see him a little bit. And
Yes,
how
that is
this can be
Enigma
trained.
wins. That is the strategy. There's a tree called Subterfuge, and you end up with camouflage and then silent movement. Or there is also under the Moon Tree, which is the skill called Vanish and Shadow Form.
Alrighty there, Jack. Time to move on to the calendar. I see Casey's moved over to the piano. Casey, you going to play a little
Okay.
something to take us out today?
Okay, so
Absolutely.
thank you, Casey. Remember, the calendar is for Wednesday, February 3rd. All times are New Britannia time, which is Central Standard Time in the real world. And so we have a very short calendar. So at 4 p.m. on Avatars Radio, we have DJ Goldenwing because it is Community Appreciation Wednesday. At 6 p.m. on Avatars Radio, remember you can access Avatars Radio by going to avatarsradio.info, avatarsradio.com, or listening to it in-game with an ether amplifier. We have DJ Squirrel, who's distracted by squirrels. Squirrel. At 6 p.m., if you are interested in a little bit of role-playing, you can join the Wednesday Nights. That is going to be in Care Drokwich with Bowen Bloodgood, where they roleplay as knights, and they have some fun doing that. If you're interested in some PvP, we are the Knights of Ni. We have the EVL, or Every Virtue is Lasting, PvP Pipsqueak PvP tournament, where the entrance fee is 1,000 gold, and if they have too many players in different brackets, they will break those up, low level and high level, and the pool is split 70-30 for the winner and runner up. At 8 o'clock is Laz's favorite event of the week, which is Spend Striker
Sparhawks Gold.
Yes. Where Striker Sparhawk goes to a bar somewhere in PAX Lair, and he turns around and he buys everybody drinks, and you can get virtually drunk somewhere with Striker Sparhawk. And we do have to thank all of our sponsors today. Thank you, Jacob White, for showing up on the show today. If you ever get lost in game, remember sodamap.com. If you have problems crafting, remember sodacraft.com. If you'd like to know about taming, all the information is at sodataming.com. If you are looking to buy or sell anything related to Shroud of the Avatar, it is going to be at shroudmarketplace.com. And thank you to Lord British for hanging out on the show with us today. We want to thank everybody for the follows. Thank you for questions. We couldn't do this without you guys, and we really do appreciate everybody.
We love everybody
for
out
up.
there. Thanks for joining us in the studio.
Torque, Lord British, AC.
And
others.
thank you very much for viewing the German stream, which was in English too, and it will be uploaded on YouTube.
Oh, thank you, Torque. Alrighty, folks.
And I forgot Ariana.
That's going to be it for us today. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned to NBNN for more news, sports, entertainment, crazy, wild happening, and the latest updates in Shroud of the Avatar. I'm Jack.
I'm not Laz.
I wanted to see if I get you. I'm Laz.
And I'm Jack.
And we are
I'm Jack
NBNN.
Cupcakes.
We'll see you next time, folks. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned to NBNN for more entertainment. Until next time. I love you, man. I forgot Lord British.
I love it. I love Lord British too.
British.
I want his hair, all of it. I need the ponytail.
I'd buy it.
Just a little bit. Just the tip.